It's Andy from gymnutrition.co.uk back with another video. In today's video I want to talk about LGD 4033. Good, bad, ugly bits, my experience with it, etc. So let's dive straight in. So what is LGD? LGD is a SARM. SARM stands for Selective Androgen Receptor Modulators. If you don't know what a SARM is, then Google it, because that's a whole other subject. Now, before I start on this, I'm not advocating the use of SARMs. I'm not a doctor. I'm not anything particularly. I'm just little old me, average bod in the gym, giving you my little take on it. So everything what I'm about to tell you is already out there on the internet. It's videos on YouTube like this one that loads of other people have put up. There's loads of documentation. If you just Google LGD, you can read to all your heart's content if you don't watch the YouTube videos. So I'm gonna quickly condense that down and give it to you in the next 10 minutes. And I'm also gonna, if I've got time, go through my personal experience with LGD. So there's been quite a few human studies on LGD, and the dosage they used was 1 milligram. Now they show that 1 milligram worked, and it worked pretty well at putting on muscle tissue. Now if I was to take LGD, which I did, then I didn't take as little as 1 milligram. I took a higher dose, which I'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. So is it banned in sports? Yes and no. If you're drug tested athletes, so you're in whatever drug tested competition, Olympic Games maybe, if you're a superstar, then yes, it's a banned substance. So if you take it, it will show up as you're taking steroids and you will be throwing out your event. If you're not in a drug tested competition, then yeah, it's fine to take. So that's down to you. Now, estrogenic side effects. Apparently, again from what I've read, it doesn't convert to estrogen, but there is a big but. It probably will cause water retention, and it may or may not cause gynecomastia, bitch tits. You know, the glands around your nipples in men can become inflamed, enlarged, etc., etc. Now, everything carries a risk. The chances of it causing gyno are probably going to be very, very slim. But if 100 people took it, there's always going to be one poor sod that's going to get gyno and the other 99 didn't. There's a risk to everything. You can go down the pub, the bar, and have a fight. Are you going to have a fight if you go down the bar? Probably not, but the risk is there. So it's up to you to determine sort of like, if you're a scaredy cat, then don't take it. If you do take it, then that's down to you. But weigh up the pros and cons is what I'm saying. Androgenic. Has it got androgenic side effects? Now, androgenic refers to bald head, hair on the back, deepening of the voice, all the secondary male characteristics, if you like. Apparently, it's very, very low in androgens. So the chances of getting any androgenic effect are, again, quite slim. But it is possible for that poor sod that's the 1 in 100. Anabolic, yes, it's very, very anabolic. In fact, milligram for milligram, it's stronger than testosterone. Now, again, I keep saying, I said this in the Rab 140 video, oh, stronger than testosterone. It's not. If you take a course of tests, you're going to put on loads more muscle and strength than taking LGD. Yes, that is true. But for the amount that you're likely to take, which is, you know, for a man like myself, I'd probably 8 to 15 milligrams a day. Now, you wouldn't take that small amount of testosterone. So milligram for milligram, you get more bang for your bucks from LGD than you would testosterone. Okay, so just bet it, if that makes sense anyway. Side effects. Yes, we've touched on the balding bit. Again, genetics. My dad's bald. He's never took steroids from what I can gather in his whole life, and he's bald. So I take after my dad. I've got the good looks and the bald head, obviously. So again, it's the 1 in 100. If you got the bad genetics for the losing the hair, then you're going to lose it. I mean, if I hadn't have taken steroids in the past, or I hadn't have taken SARMs, would I have been bald? Yes. Would I have been bald by the time I was 30? Might have been. I don't know, do I? I might have been bald by the time I'm 35. It's probably more like it. So I'm still going to get there, but it probably accelerated the baldness. Genetics, what can I say? Is it suppressive? Yes, it is suppressive. What does suppressive means? It means it will shut down your own natural testosterone production. Your body will think, oh, I've got loads of androgenic anabolic compounds in my system, so therefore my balls don't need to keep making loads of testosterone. So after a while, it will slow down. Again, it's not going to be suppressive in everybody, but the chances are it will be suppressive. Now, the suppression, from what I can gather personally and what I've seen in other people, the higher the dose you're on, this goes with everything, not just LGD, the higher dose you're on and the longer you're on that higher dose, the more your body will shut down. Yeah? So, if you took LGD or any other SAM or even a steroid for 4 weeks, then the chances of shutdown are going to be tiny. But whereas if you took a high dose for 20, 24, 26 weeks, then the chances of shutdown are going to not be tiny, they're going to be very big. So bear that one in mind as well, yeah? Don't abuse the stuff if that's what you choose to take. Suppressive. Is it toxic? Again, a little bit toxic, but very, very small amount. If your diet's on point, this is my own personal experience. If your diet's on point, you're not going out drinking loads of alcohol, your training's on point, you don't abuse the doses, you don't abuse the duration of the course, the length of the course, then the chances of toxicity are going to be very slow. Would I take an on-cycle support to just help with that? Then the answer to that was yes. I'm 54 years old, and if I ever take anything, I'm looking at things to reducing possible side effects that may occur. I might be that 1 in 100 that I keep going on about. I'm old, so the chances are I might be not 1 in 100. I might be like 10 in 100 or whatever. You know what I mean? The older you get, the more chance of something messing up. So if there's something I can take to possibly reduce the bad bits, like an on-cycle support, then I will choose to take that, just as like a little life insurance policy, if you want to call it that. So that's the toxicity. Cardiovascular system. Now, because of you're going to possibly increase water retention. Me, yes, did that. Blood pressure will probably go up. As to how much, again, we're all individual. But the easiest way to do it is get yourself a blood pressure monitor. If you're in America, Walmart apparently sell them for like next to nothing, 10, 20 bucks, I don't know, whatever it is. Here in the UK, I think I paid 20 odd pounds for a blood pressure monitor that I use at home. Now, my blood pressure is always slightly high, so I have to watch that sort of thing as well. So blood pressure, keep your eye on the blood pressure. You can do that at home, no excuses. Cholesterol as well. Again, like I said before, my cholesterol always hovers a little bit high as well at my age. So the chances are of a compound like LGD or any other SARM, it can possibly increase your cholesterol. So again, it's a good idea to get that checked to see where you are. Is it going to increase everyone's blood pressure and cholesterol? No. But again, we don't know whether we're that 1 in 100. So if you want to be responsible, you need to know where you are at with those. Blood pressure, we've already done that. Kidneys, probably not. It hasn't affected my kidneys from what I've been told on blood tests. I had a blood test about a year ago, so it was a while ago, to be fair. But saying that, I haven't taken anything for over a year. So my kidney function was perfectly fine, despite my blood pressure teetering on high. I'm going to have to go on meds at some point, but I'm kind of like resisting it. But yeah, I'm going to have to do that. But again, the 1 in 100, you might be the 1 in 100 that suffers from kidney trouble. So again, the only really way you're going to know any of this is going on is to have a blood test before and a blood test after. See what your levels are from everything are at, day 1 or day 0. And then at the end of your course, do another blood. Get the doctor or privately do it. You can just Google it. Google it where to get a blood test from. And there's loads and loads of companies that they do it through the mail and things like that. So get your blood test done if you want to be ultra cautious. Then that's the only way you are going to know 100% on where you're at before and after, yeah? So, how does it make you feel? Me personally, felt great on it. Didn't feel tired. Didn't feel lethargic, didn't have a headache, didn't particularly feel bloated or anything like that on it. So, yeah, all good. Some people report slight headache, diarrhea. Some people get low sex drive on it. Some people have even said, oh yeah, my sex drive's gone up. Brilliant. So again, we're all individual. You're not going to know unless you was to try it. In other words, people that take it. So why would you take LGD over any other SARMs? Well, it's purely for. I say purely. Yeah, purely. Why not? Let's go with purely. It's purely for bulking. So LGD is a bulking SARM. It's going to pack on a lot of size. Again, like I said, some of it's going to be water retention. So if you're not worried about cutting and things like that, you just want to bulk up as much as possible, then LGD is probably a good one to go for. So dosages. Me personally, the only time I've ever taken it, I've taken, whether you can see that with the light on it, I'll try and turn it so it don't go. But there's a product from Black Mamba which is called Venom. So this is the only LGD product I've actually taken in my life ever, and I've took it once, yeah. And it is not just LGD. It is. I'll tell you what it is because it's relevant to what I'm going to say. It's MK677, 20 milligrams per serving. Rad 140, 20 milligrams per serving. LGD, 8 milligrams per serving. Now I took one serving. This is like 30 servings, so a month's supply. So the most I've took LGD is 8 milligrams. Now, from what I've read and what I've seen on the interweb, the dose is for men, is between 8 and 15 milligrams. They're like typical doses people will take. Some people will take less, some people have gone up to like 40, 50 milligrams. I mean, why you would go that high, it's just stupid. But 40 to 50 milligrams, some people have gone up to. So it can be dosed once a day. The half-life on it is 24, 36 hours from what I can make out, basically. So you can dose it once a day. If in doubt, spread it out is what a lot of people say. So a lot of the times, if that was a 4 milligram tablet and I was going to take 8 milligrams, I would probably take 4 milligram morning, 4 milligram evening. It's just kind of the way I am. But it's just easier because it's like it's in a pipette and you just put it in your mouth. Just get it down in one go. So I just took it once a day. But like I say, because the half-life is 24 to 36 hours, then once a day is going to be fine with that. How much are you likely to gain? How long's a bit of string, basically? Typical gains, I would probably say around the £5 to £10 mark. A lot of that's down to how good your training is, if your diet's on point, how good your genetics are as you know, responding to LGD products. So there's a lot of factors in it. If it's the first time you've ever taken a SARM product, then the chances are you're going to be in for a big shot. You're going to put a lot of size and strength on. If you've been taking SARMs, steroids, whatever, on and off for years, then it ain't going to affect you in quite as big a way as what it would do the first time. So what happened when I took it? Well, before I tell you exactly how much weight I put on, how much size I put on, I would hasten to say that I was in a dieted state. I've been dieting for 6 months. So I was in a dieted state. So I was probably quite glycogen depleted and at a reasonable, not competition state, but I was in a reasonable condition for an average old bastard like myself. This was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, roughly 2 years ago. So I was like 52 years old or whatever when I took it. Now from my dieted state, which I was probably about 15.5 stone. If you don't know what that is in America, I can't do the maths. 14 pounds, I don't know why we do it in stone, but we do. 14 pounds in a stone, yeah? So 15.5 times 14. I was whatever 100 pounds. I don't fucking know, do I look brainy or what? So I was 15.5 stone, yeah? Whatever that is in pounds. And I went from 15.5 stone in, I had 2 bottles of this, in 8 weeks. So I went from 15.5 stone to 18.4 in 8 weeks. Now, so that's like a shitload of weight that I put on. Did I look bloated? Yeah, I did. My head was massive. I mean, this is imagine this head massive. This is like small for my head. It was kind of like, so yes, I had a lot of water retention. And because I put a lot of weight on quite quick, I did feel tired. A lot of that I think was down to the weight gain, because I was put that amount of weight on at my age as well didn't really help. So I did feel really tired on it as well. Strength was massively up, to the detriment of my poor old elbows. My dumbbell bench press went up 10 kilos. I mean, that's like on a max 8 rep set. It went at 10 kilos over the 8 weeks. So even though I was loving it, and I was like, yes, I'm getting strong again, like I was in my 20s, but I was 52 at the time. My poor old elbows were like, please, no more, no more. So yeah, not great on the elbows, but yeah, it is what it is. So the only reason I put on that amount of weight, like I say, because I was glycogen depleted, so I'd say a good stone, a good 14 pounds, was filling out with glycogen. Because the MK677, if you don't know what MK is, I'll put a little, what do you call them things? The little card thingy, what's it? In the at the end of the video, so you can watch the MK one. But MK677 does make you eat shitloads of food. So a lot of it was just filling up, spilling over, looking a little bit bloaty. So I'd probably say, guesstimation, I would have put on, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 pound if I hadn't been in a depleted state, which was great considering I've been on and off SARMs for the previous year. Like I say, I haven't took anything for over a year, so I'm due to have a little experiment soon, so stay tuned for that. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I would say, before PCT as well, I'm always forgetting the PCT bit, and people were even in the comments, what about PCT? Yes, I would definitely take a PCT. If I was going to take LGD for 4 weeks, will I take a PCT? Probably not, but maybe just take a natural natty test booster type product just to optimise your own testosterone levels. If you're going to take it for 8, 12 or even longer, then yes, definitely a PCT, because you will get 90% going to get some sort of suppression. So it's probably a good idea to take a decent full-blown PCT if you're going to take it longer than 4 weeks, in my humble opinion anyway. So I hope this helps a bit. Please give us a thumbs up or maybe a thumbs down, whatever, I don't really care. And leave a comment below. And if you would subscribe, I will love you forever, I promise. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.